Hey, welcome to Color Up. Today I want to talk to you about what most craps players are missing out of their game in order to become a winner. So a lot of times I'll go to the casino and see players lose and they're like, oh, we didn't get the big roll that we needed, or the table's cold. And I'm thinking, well, what are you talking about? I actually colored up. So let's talk about and find out what players need in order to win. So in my opinion, the biggest thing missing from most players' game is a plan. Now, a plan that seems overly simplistic, but if you go to the casinos and watch most players, they don't have a plan. They'll just same bet, same bet, same bet, or they'll maybe press and never collect. So what do I mean by having a plan? I just mean playing within the confines of the game or sticking to the math of the game. Now, or maybe you don't know, but I always recommend having enough to play 10 shooters. And why is that? I'm hoping that one of those shooters will have a big roll and you make up all your money there. But if the first 9 shooters, you lose most or a lot of your money, you can have a monster roll and still maybe never get caught up or ahead. So what do we know about this game and the math of this game, and how do we create a plan? We all understand, or you should know, that every single bet contains a house edge, and long term, we can't overcome that edge, that house edge, right? The casino always wins in the end. But our goal is to overcome the probability and, win short term, or win sessions, small sessions. So let's talk about the math real quick. The 7, there's a 1 in 6 chance to roll. Why? Because there's 6 dice combinations that create a 7. All the other numbers, there's a total of 36. So 6 out of 36 times it's going to roll a 7, or reduce down 1 in 6. Now we also know from the come out roll, and then when a point is established until the 7 out, the math says that on average, a shooter will roll 8.5 times. Now why is this different than the 6? Well, sometimes you have winners and losers on the pass line while the puck is off before your point is established. So if 8.5 is the average, hoping that you get a 20 roll, a 30 roll, this is just not a plan. Sure, it happens, and it happens every once in a while. 50 rolls, 100 rolls, but it is not something that you should build a plan around. Now, there are some that would say, hey, you got to go big and you got to go for it every time that you go out to gamble. It's just gambling for entertainment. So, hey, I'm willing to lose 500, 800 every time I play for just that one time where I'm being super aggressive and I get a 50, 60 roll and I win $10,000, $20,000. That sounds like a fun once in a lifetime situation, but you're playing once a weekend, or a couple times a month, or maybe just a couple times a year. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun, because you're only going to hit that once in a lifetime. So let's build a plan around the math, something more reasonable where we can get some wins more often and color up more often. Let me show you an extreme example to kind of make my case, and then we'll go from there. So let's say a player at a $10 table, a real typical common bet is $44 inside. Let's go ahead and set up a second player. I see this so many times with beginners. They like to same bet. All right, let's say the point is on, and both players, we roll a 6, so 12 is going to pay 14. And, well, both players, I'll put his money over here. Both players get paid 14. And then over here, this player, then we roll a 5, right? So again, we get paid 14. This player also gets paid 14. And this player regresses or turns off his bet. We've got 2 hits. We don't have any bets, but we have a $28 profit, right? This is we have our 44 and our 2 wins at $72 or $28 in profit. Do you think we can get 2 hits within 8.5 rolls? Not always. Sometimes we get the immediate 7 out. But yeah, a lot of times for sure, most players, you can get 2 hits and then you have a profit of $28. What about our player that continues the same bet? Let's say, well, now he rolls a 9. Awesome. We get paid another $14. So we've got 3 hits, and then a 4 rolls, then 11 rolls, then a 7 rolls, and we lose these bets up here. What do we have? We have $42. We're a losing player. We're losing $2 here. This player has won $28. Okay, let's say we hit another number. We hit the 5 again. We win another $14. Couple more rolls, then a 7 out. We lose this money up here. Awesome. We've actually won some money. We've got $56. We have a $12 profit. Here we have a $28 profit. But remember, the more rolls, right, we're closer to that 8.5 average. I mean, we've got 4 hits, but did we roll a 4? Did we roll the 11? It's a little tougher to get 4 hits than just 2. All right, we stick around. It's an awesome roll. It's probably up in the 12 range, 12 to 14, but we've got our 5th hit on a number because we've only played the inside numbers. There we go. Now we've got $70 win. We're going to lose this money when the 7 eventually comes, but we got $70 here. What is $26 profit, $28 profit. So we stuck around for a bunch more rolls, got 5 rolls, and still haven't made as much as this player. Now, I'm not saying that you should take 2 hits and then pull all your money off the table. I actually don't agree with pulling all your money off the table. I'll get to that in a second. But what I am saying is, it's not a plan to just same bet and hope that you can get actually 6 hits to create more of a win. If the average is 8.5 rolls, it's really kind of unreasonable to hope for 6 hits. I just really don't think that that is a plan that's going to work out for you. More times than not, you're trying to get 6 hits, you're not going to get it, and you're not going to win. So what are some plans, or what are some things that we could do instead to help us get ahead? You could start at larger amounts, take 1 or 2 hits, just a couple rolls, and lower all your bets. I like to have a plan to get my money back within the 8.5 rolls, and then I like to be prepared just in case that long roll does happen. So taking a couple hits and regressing down your bets is always a great option. Let's say you bet across all the numbers. Well, you can take a couple hits, pull off the 4 and 10, and lower these inside numbers. There's so many different ways to play this game. Another plan would be to start really small. So let's say we just start with the 6 and 8, $12, 6 and 8. If we can get a couple hits, let's say, $14, and maybe we hit it twice, $14. We don't have as many numbers covered, but if we can get lucky and hit those numbers with just 2 hits, we have our profit, but we have such little risk out here that, it doesn't matter as much. We've recouped our money within, the 8.5 rolls, and now with a small profit, we're prepared to move ahead for the big roll. If a big roll is going to be a lot more numbers, so if we can hit the 6 again, we get paid 14, then we can start covering some other numbers. Now, a pass line player I kind of see is this kind of similar plan. They start small and they build into it. So let's say they come out on the pass line, the point becomes a 10. You can add a little bit of odds if you'd like, and then you make a come bet, right? A lot of players will do a pass and maybe like 2 come bets. Well, on this first roll, this is a little hedge against the 7, so we don't have all that much at risk. So this player, they might stop at 2 come bets for a total of 3 numbers, and that's their plan, to minimize the risk and hopefully hit some numbers, before the 8.5 rolls, so they can recoup and then go from there. Now, I showed an example of why a same better is kind of a problem, because you need so many hits to overcome the loss of your initial bet. Well, let's talk about power pressing. Now, personally, I think power pressing, or just plain pressing, would be a better situation than just same betting. Now, if you press and press and press and press and never collect without a plan, that would be a bad way to do it. But if you have a plan to get out early, considering the average roll is just 8.5, which means, right, so many rolls are going to be in that 4 to 6 range or 4 to 8 range. And then, you're going to see a few in that 8 to 15 range. I see a lot, so many people, I see it a lot. It'll be 8, 12, 10, 6, 10, 4, 15. And they're like, oh my gosh, we never got a good roll and I lost all my money. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We got the rolls, they were average. You should have been able to do something with that. So let's look at how a power presser can do it. So what he does is he presses to overcome it. Just because of the larger bets creates larger wins, right? So let's say the 6 rolls, we win 14, and we're gonna press the 6 up. That's the first hit, and let's say we get a second hit on the 5, so we're gonna get paid 14 again. You know what, we're gonna power press. Let's throw in an extra $1. Let's take our 5 all the way up to a $25 bet. So that's our second hit. Second hit, it might be the 3rd roll, it might be the 4th roll, it might be the 6th roll. But let's just say, we hit the 6 again. Awesome, we're gonna win 21. This time we don't press it, we'll just collect it. And maybe, just maybe, that 5, we get lucky and it hits, and 25 is gonna pay 35. The good news here with some pressing, with just a couple hits, here we got 3 hits. We've got $55, $57. So if the 7 comes and wipes these bets out, we've recouped our $44 and we have a little profit of what, like $13. So cool. So I really don't care how you approach it. I mean, it kind of depends on your personality. Are you aggressive? Then maybe you like to press the numbers. That's fine. You get those couple hits and get your money back as quickly as possible. If you're super conservative, maybe you start with just the 6 and 8. You start with very small bets, try to hit them, and then spread from there. If you're like a moderate personality, moderate, conservative, aggressive type player, you kind of play like me. We kind of cover some numbers, we'll take a couple hits, and then we'll pull some numbers down. Don't pull all your numbers down, because the second part, you want to plan for 8.5 rolls, and then you want to prepare just in case that big roll happens. You don't want to be on the sideline with no money on the table when you see a 50 roll. That is just a huge bummer. So I don't care if you just got one number covered and then you use it to hit and keep spraying out. If it's a monster roll, it's a monster roll. You're going to win some. Yes, you might not win as much as this person who from the very get-go starts being aggressive, but you're going to win some money on a big roll. But those are rare. We first got to take care of the plan of the average roll is 8.5. Get your money back as quick as possible and as few rolls as possible. However you feel comfortable doing that, recoup your money and then prepare for the big roll.